Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to use List Builder. So in this one video I'll be able to cover all the different settings, how to integrate it and even view it. So it's going to be pretty good that we can cover it all in one video. It's not too complicated. So right now I'm in this screen, the all list builders. I don't have any created, so I don't see any here. So let's get started by clicking on Add List Builder. First thing to do is to give it a name. It's very important that you assign it a name because if you forget to give it a name and then you click on save, you might lose all the work that you just did. So save your work at every step and always put a name there first. Next tab is going to be the pop-up setting. So there's really two different ways to use List Builder, or you can use them both simultaneously. There is going to be the pop-up, which will show up in the screen like this, right in the middle of the screen. And then there's also the slider, which will slide from the bottom right corner of the screen. You can choose to use both of them or one or the other by selecting these checkboxes right here. So if I just wanted to use the slider, I would disable the pop-up like this, and I would just have the slider, and I could do the same in the other way by just selecting the pop-up. So for this example, I'm going to use both, and because the settings are identical from the pop-up to the slider, you can do the exact same things. I'm only going to create the pop-up for you guys in this video right now. Then with the magic of video editing, I'm going to make some settings for the slider, and then we'll go ahead and save it and embed it together. So right now in the pop-up here, the next screen you see here is an image to give you a reference as to what all the different colors are. So they're all labeled here with letters. So the top background color is right now is white, and you can just keep going down the list to see what they all mean. So we'll get to that in a second. Below that we have the main image URL. So this image right here is an envelope, and you're going to put whatever you want. The max width is going to be 80 pixels, so it's nice if you make it a nice image, 80 by 80. I already have an image created here, the CTA bar logo. So I'm going to paste that in right here. Next we have the main headline. The main headline right now says join our newsletter. This is just a reference, by the way. This is not an actual preview. So I'm going to put in my own headline. I'll just put in the same thing. Below that we have the subheadline. Right now it says sign up today for free and be the first to get notified on new updates. So I'm going to make my own subheadline here. Below that, the first thing we're going to see here is going to be the autoresponder setup. So if you've already set up an autoresponder for your CTA bar, there's nothing else to do. You go here to the autoresponder setup tab, and once you've integrated it, it'll work with CTA bar and with List Builder. So I'm going to choose MailChimp here. Next, I'm going to choose my campaign. And as you can see, once I chose my campaign, you'll see that the opt-in field will show up here with the button, and that means that I can also edit the text here. I'll also be able to edit the button text. There we go. So I'm ready to go. Last thing I need to do is to set all the different colors I want. So this is where the reference guide is going to be handy. You can look here what the label says, so top background color, scroll up here, look at top background color and what it refers to. So right now the top background color is white, the heading color is this green, subheading is gray, the bottom background color is this green, button background color is black, and the button text color is white. Alright, so I already have some colors that I chose, so I'm going to enter them right now. And I'm going to leave the subheading in gray, I'll leave the button in black, and the button text in white. For my page load, instead of 10 seconds, I'm just going to reduce that down to 5 seconds. So after a user lands on the page, 5 seconds later, that's when they're going to receive the pop-up. So that's it for the pop-up settings. Now that I'm done, of course, it'll be important to click on Save. It's always important to click on Save first every time you finish doing something, just so you don't lose your work. I'll go back and verify. I can see all my settings are still there, including my autoresponder. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the slider, so the video will cut, and then I'll be done the slider. Okay, so I'm done entering in all my slider settings. I won't forget to click on Save again. I'll just double check that everything went through. Perfect. And lastly, I'm going to go here to the embed code tab. So after you save, this embed code will pop up, and now I'll go ahead and integrate it. So for this example here, I'm going to be using OptimizePress, which is a WordPress theme. Now this will work on any regular WordPress theme. It doesn't have to be OptimizePress, and it'll also work on just a regular HTML website. So it's a little different than with CTA bar. For this one, you're going to want to put the embed code at the bottom of your body. So this means that you could have a CTA bar and also have a pop-up or a slider on your website, and they're not going to interfere with each other. CTA bar goes in the header, And for List Builder, you're going to put that code at the bottom of the body. So right here, I'm going to scroll down. This is my body, and I'm going to click on Add Element right at the end. It's going to be custom HTML. I'll paste that embed code here, click on Insert, and last thing, I'm going to click on Save. So as you can see here, it's popping up right now, and that's because this editor here is recognizing that code. So I'm just going to X them, and let's go ahead and view them on a real page. Now, something important to note when you guys are doing some testing is that there is a cookie when somebody views the slider or pop-up that lasts about an hour. So if you're trying to do some testing and you're making tweaks and you want to go see how it looks, you're not going to be able to keep viewing it because you're going to be cookied and it's not going to show you the same thing twice. So a trick for that is that all browsers have this, whether you're using Chrome, which I'm using right now, or Firefox, or Safari, or Explorer. They all have a private window. So for a Chrome here, it's called Incognito. And what you're going to want to do is click on New Incognito Window. And this window will not have any of your previous cookies or anything that you've done in your regular browser. So by opening this now, even if I've gone to that URL many times, it's not going to recognize any of the cookies that I previously had, and I can keep testing over and over by simply Xing this window after I've tested, opening a new incognito window or a new private browsing window, and keep doing the same tests over and over again. So I'm going to go to that website right now. This is it. You can see I have a CTA bar here. I'm going to wait about 5 seconds, and the pop-up should show up pretty soon. There it is. So the pop-up is here. I'm going to X that. So you can see the CTA bar works with that. And now I'm going to also scroll down. It's only 400, so the slider should show up pretty soon. And there it is. There's the slider. So I can X that one. And that's pretty much it for that. So let me just do one more example. Instead of using a timer for the pop-up of 5 seconds, I'm going to use an exit pop instead and show you guys how that works. So I'm going to close this window, go back into List Builder, and for the pop-up settings, if you scroll down here, I'll change it from page load to page exit and click on save. Now I'm going to open a new private browsing window. Alright, so now that I have my new private browsing window open, I'm going to go to that same URL. So here we go. Page is going to load. Now the slider is still going to be there, as you can see, because I didn't disable the slider. But you can also see that the pop-up hasn't showed up, even though it's been more than 5 seconds. That's because I put it to an exit pop. So the way an exit pop works is that as soon as the user starts to leave the page by going up into the address bar, that's when the pop-up's going to show. So you can see here I can browse around these menus, nothing's happening, I can scroll around, I can click here. I still don't see the pop-up. As soon as I take my cursor, I know you guys can't see above my window, but right above here is the address bar, and as soon as I take my cursor and bring it right above, that's when the pop-up shows up. So that's the way the exit pop works, and that's pretty much it for List Builder, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys in the next one.